Tonight, Bareknuckle Fighting Championship makes its debut in Nebraska for this state's first ever sanctioned and legal bareknuckle event. It's BKFC 21 coming to you from Ralston Arena in Omaha. 11 fights headed your way, and we'll open with 3 preliminary bouts. Our main card begins on the Bareknuckle TV app just under 1 hour from now, and on it you'll see Jason High versus Rocky Long in the welterweight division. Tonight's co-main set for the heavyweight division, Sam Shewmaker versus Josh Burns. And our main event, which features 2 undefeated bareknuckle fighters, Dakota Cochrane versus Mike Richman at 175 pounds. Hey everyone, welcome to our Freeview Bareknuckle Fighting Championship 21. Glad you're with us watching live around the world. He's Chris Lights Out Lytle, I'm Sean Wheelock. Again, a reminder, our main card starts just under 1 hour from now, top of the hour. The way to watch it is on the Bareknuckle TV app. The main event this evening, Chris, really intriguing. Again, a 175-pound bout. Mike Richman in his pro MMA career has fought as low as 135 pounds. Dakota Cochrane, largely in pro MMA, has been a 170. He's fought as heavy as 190 in bare knuckle.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about, the big difference in this fight. Great contrast. You have a heavy, strong guy. Dakota Cochrane's always been the strongest guy in the ring when he fights, he feels like. And I agree with him. He's been absolutely one of the stronger guys we've had. And he's going against a guy in Richmond who's coming up in a weight class, but he has that quickness. He has that speed. He has that punching accuracy. So a great contrast right here. We have speed and accuracy versus power. I like it when you have a fight where you see what's going to win. We don't know, and this will be a great fight to figure something like that out.
Tonight's fight odds for Bareknuckle Fighting Championship 21 are presented by BetOnline.ag.
So if you look at this, usually the fighter with the minus behind it, they're the favorite, the one with the plus, and they are the underdog. So you can see here, a good opportunity to make a lot of money. If you feel like you know what you're talking about, win some money tonight.
The Bareknuckle TV app gives you access to live Bareknuckle Fighting Championship events, as well as access to the full Bareknuckle Fighting Championship archives. You can also see additional fight promotions such as Toe the Line and Jorge Masvidal's Gamebred FC Bareknuckle MMA. Plus, you'll get fighter interviews, behind-the-scenes content, the latest news, original programming, and more. It's all for just $4.99 per month. It's the Bareknuckle TV app. Download it now at bkfc.com. First up on our preliminary bout, it is a light heavyweight fight. Adam Valcourt versus Jeff Souder. The numbers are presented by Fan Time.
And if you look here, Adam Valcourt has a significant reach advantage, 3.5 inches. He's going to want to stay on the outside. He's going to want to make Jeff pay every time he tries to come in to land that big punch. Jeff Souder is a great athlete, played college football. He's going to want to get in and land those heavy punches. Valcourt's going to have to keep him at bay.
This is the Pro Combat Sports debut for Jeff Souder. He had a very good MMA career. Compiled a record of 14 wins against just 5 losses. Was a football player, strong safety at the University of Nebraska. Of course, an outstanding NCAA Division I program. Souder then went on to play 7 years of football. This isn't soccer, this is American football in Europe. He played in Italy, Spain, and Switzerland.
Yeah, like we talked about, a lot of athletic ability out there. He's translated that over to fight, and he feels like he's a fast fighter. He wants to have fun out there. He has difference with his stance. He has a very good jab. He can't wait to get out here, utilize this in bare knuckle.
Souder told us he feels that he is very fast for his size. Obviously, if you're playing for the University of Nebraska, as he did under Bill Callahan, you're an outstanding athlete. Souder said, I need to land clean shots early. I can't just load up and swing for the knockout.
Yeah, very interesting. He is a southpaw, but he's actually right-handed. He likes to find the southpaw stance. He feels more comfortable out there. Really want to get in there, throw some feints, throw some jabs. He wants to land that big right hook he has.
This is the bare-knuckle debut for Adam Valcourt. He's had 1 pro MMA bout, 8 MMA fights, and also 10 amateur boxing bouts. Valcourt said, I want to throw high volume from the outside. He was emphatic in our fighter meeting. Chris Valcourt said, I just can't stand in front of Jeff Souder, throw, trade punches. He said, I have to use my jab. I have to establish range.
Well, the good thing is you talked about all the different types of fights he's had. He's MMA boxing, kickboxing, this and that. He's well-rounded in a lot of different types of fighting, which is going to make it easier for him to adjust to this sport. But like you said, he knows exactly what he has to do. Another one of our guys coming from the tryouts. Cannot believe it. I think we have 13 guys on the card who came from the tryouts.
Again, top of the hour, our main card begins. The way to watch is on the Bareknuckle TV app, BKFC 21 from Omaha, Nebraska. You're with us live worldwide online for our free view. 3 preliminary bouts are headed your way. To get the evening started, we send it to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and welcome to the very first bare-knuckle fighting event in Nebraska State history. Welcome to the Ralston Arena here in beautiful Omaha, Nebraska. We begin BKFC 21 with our free view portion of tonight's fights. And we get it started with 5 2-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Presented to you by Fan Time. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight, he wears black. He stands at even 6 feet tall. His official weight, 185.2 pounds. He holds an MMA record of 14 victories opposite 5 defeats and makes his bare-knuckle debut. Fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska, here is Jeff Souder. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight, he wears black and red. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. His official weight, 183.8 pounds. Tonight, he also makes his bare-knuckle debut. Also fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska, here is Adam Valcourt. And our referee in charge of the action, Andrew Glenn.
This and all bouts tonight are scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds and are scored by 3 judges assigned by the Nebraska Athletic Commission on the 10-point must system.
Can't be near the ropes while they're fighting.
Referee Andy Glenn calling both fighters up to scratch, standing 3 feet apart. Round number 1. Black and red trunks for Adam Valcourt, black trunks. Nebraska Cornhusker socks for Jeff Souder. Right hand from Souder.
Souder's doing just what he talked about. He's changing stances a lot already.
Souder, big shots to the inside. Cross-arm guard by Valcourt. Heavy shots, there's the counter left hand. Another big left hand on the counter from Valcourt, landing with his back against the ropes.
And Souder's just standing in front throwing bombs, and he's paying the price. He's getting hit in there sometimes. He's got to be a little bit better about not staying right in the pocket.
Shades of our friend Chris Lieben. Big uppercuts from the half-tie plum thrown by Jeff Souder.
Break, step back clean.
Valcourt's had a couple really good counters from in there. Landed clean.
Valcourt pulls back that right cross. The southpaw stance, now it switches stances on cue for Souder. Souder right hand, caught by the overhand left of Valcourt.
And you can tell this is both these guys' debut fight in bare knuckle, so they're really learning out there right now. They're trying to take it all in. They're adjusting as we speak.
Small cut on the forehead of Jeff Souder. Duck under from Valcourt. 50 seconds remaining in a very entertaining round number 1 at 185 pounds. Valcourt keeps pulling back the right hand. On the entry from the right hand is Souder. Souder, big shots again from the half-tie plug. There's the uppercut on the counter from Valcourt. Now Valcourt in trouble, circling out. Heavy pressure again from Jeff Souder. You see referee Andy Glenn stepping in to take a closer look. More big shots, the right hand gets through from Souder, and a counter right hand from Valcourt. Chris, Valcourt keeps landing counters with his back against the ropes.
Absolutely, he's doing a very good job of that. Souder's just falling in love with sitting in front of him and teeing off. He's got to get an angle, pick off to his side when he can.
Valcourt's mouth is wide open. Final seconds, round number 1. Right hand just off the mark from Souder. There is the bell. Great start to BKFC 21. Next stop, round 2.
Sean, it's always amazing to me when you're watching these fighters and they've been in there and they've been fighting 5-minute rounds and they can go all day and they can do this and they get tired in 2 minutes. This is a different sport. It's not quite as easy as people think. You go up for 2 minutes, but you're going all out during that time sometimes. Right here, some of that good inside work being done by Souder. Throwing hard punches the entire time. We didn't really get to see right there, but what we've talked about, Valcourt's coming with some big overhand lefts and overhand rights and countering. That's one thing that I like to see Souder doing, is when he's landing those punches, pick a side, pick an angle, and then really get off to the right or left and really work from there, not right in front of your opponent.
Adam Valcourt told us in our fighter meeting, I think Souder is going to come out in the first round and swing big. That was an excellent scouting report. Valcourt said, I have to get through that, be smart, and gain my opponent, Jeff Souder's timing. Round number 2.
Souder, though, he just shows why he was a Division I athlete with that quickness and explosive speed he has.
More big shots from Souder coming to the inside. There's the clinch, again snatching the half tie plum, that single collar tie. Quick separation from referee Andrew Glenn, keeping this fight moving. Back into the center circle, Valcourt off the jab. On the turn, big right hand. Another short left uppercut from Souder. Spinning 360 is Valcourt.
Never a good idea to do the 360.
And down goes Adam Valcourt, the first knockdown in this fight. Souder just took his mouthpiece out.
He's not getting up.
The 10 count reached by referee Andrew Glenn, and the win for Jeff Souder in his pro combat sports debut.
Great finish right there. He smelled blood. He came after his opponent. He put it on him right when he was spinning around. He smelled blood. He went after it. He hit him with hard shots. Valcourt was doing a pretty good job in there with head movement. When he looked like he was getting hit something, he was moving just a little bit, making his opponent waste some energy, waste some punches, but he just got caught with too many of them. He wasn't offensive enough. He wasn't able to continue to land those looping hooks after his opponent was standing right in front of him.
That was a game effort from Adam Valcourt. He took some thudding shots throughout this fight, was in trouble, did not go down in round number 1, dropped in round 2, did not beat Andrew Glenn's 10 count. Souder getting the victory.
Even when he was getting hit here in the second round, he was showing a lot of elusiveness. He was doing just enough to not get that knockout punch. He was moving just his head just a little bit to the left, a little right, rolling, and that comes from experience. You could tell he had a lot of time in the ring. Unfortunately, just met a really tough opponent right now, and here's where it starts. See, right there's what I'm talking about. He's trying to keep moving a little bit. So you're right in there, but he still continues to take punches. And Souder doing the right thing. He's, like I said, he smelled blood. He just poured it on. He knew it. When the splinter round happens, you know this guy's not really knowing what's going on. He's discombobulated. You're not supposed to do that. Everybody knows it. So when you do it, it's a bad sign.
Jeff Souder, as we talked about at the beginning of this fight, was a strong safety at the University of Nebraska. Chris, we mentioned this to Souder in our fighter meeting. Throughout my commentary career in combat sports, 95, if not 98% of the time, fighters in all combat sports who played either Division I football or in the NFL were either safeties or linebackers. I think it has something to do with the footwork and the read and react nature of those positions.
Yeah, and he was adamant about the fact that people who play at that level are very intelligent and understand exactly what's going on. And they're not just athletic. You can't be there. You're going to make mistakes. The whole team's going to be in a problem. He's done that, and he's a smart fighter as well.
Here is Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Andrew Glenn, reaches the count of 10 at 49 seconds into round number 2 for your winner by KO, Jeff Souder.
Very good debut for Jeff Souder. Can't wait to see him fight again. He has potential. He's got that athletic speed, power, explosiveness, and he's got a victory under his belt now, Sean.
An outstanding opening to our first ever Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship event in the state of Nebraska. We're at Ralston Arena in Omaha. a building with a storied fight history, and that was an outstanding performance from Jeff Souder on his Pro Combat Sports debut. Relentless against a very game and rugged Adam Valcourt. The winner by way of second round knockout, Jeff Souder defeats Adam Valcourt. The Bareknuckle TV app gives you access to live BKFC events, as well as access to the full Bareknuckle Fighting Championship archives. You can also watch additional fight promotions such as Toe the Line and Jorge Masvidal's Gamebred FC Bareknuckle MMA. Plus, you'll get fighter interviews, behind-the-scenes content, the latest news, original programming, and more. And it's how you can watch our main card tonight, which begins at the top of the hour, all for just $4.99 per month. It's the Bareknuckle TV app. Download it now at BKFC.com. $4.99 a month. It is the best value in all of combat sports, the Bareknuckle TV app. Welterweights now. Carlos Trinidad Snake versus Noah Cutter. Our tale of the tape is presented by Tiger Life Energy, the cleaner energy drink.
And if you look at that, it looks like the physical attributes all very similar. I think the main thing you have to see from this one is not really how different they are physically. It's basically that Noah Cutter has had this is his fourth bare-knuckle fight. Carlos Trinidad Snake, this is his first. Sometimes it takes some time, so experience is a key difference in this fight.
Noah Cutter made his bare-knuckle debut last September at Toe the Line 1. He defeated Kane Tomlinson Sr. by first-round knockout.
And right here you see some of his good, hard, straight punches. Throw some hooks in there as well. He's a fighter. He comes and he wants to throw down the entire time he's in there. Good straight left down the pipe right there.
Did that seem to work right there? Did that seem to work, that whole game right
Noah Cutter, this is his fourth ever bare-knuckle fight. One in Toe the Line that we just showed you. This will be number 3 in BKFC. He's also had 6 pro MMA fights. Cutter said he feels, Chris, that 3-fight experience gives him a big edge over his opponent, Carlos Trinidad Snake, who is making his bare-knuckle debut tonight.
I'd have to agree with him. I think you learn a lot when you get out there. Each time you get better. The one thing he talked about when I talked with him was defense is being the key, working on head movement, working on footwork. But you can't just go out there and trade punches. This is not the right sport to do that. He's learning he has to be better at everything.
Cutter said he's put a big focus on improving his defense and training for this bout. He said, better footwork, and I have to slip punches much more effectively.
Yeah, he wants to make sure when he gets in, he's throwing combos. He's not throwing one punch and sitting there looking at his opponent. When he's in there, he's throwing punches, and then he's getting out. He's not standing in front of his opponent like we just saw. That's what you learn when you get in here. He's had several fights. He's learned. He's ready to improve right now.
Carlos Trinidad Snake, he's had 1 pro MMA bout, 1 pro boxing bout, and 21 AMI MMA fights. I commentated him in the late great Victory Fighting Championship as an amateur, starting when he was just 20 years old. Trinidad Snake now age 25. He said in his bare-knuckle debut, he is focusing on throwing the jab to work to the inside.
Yeah, he said he's taking this very seriously, more than any other training camp. He's focused on his diet. He's focused on his training. He actually said he wants a war. I think that's something that people say before they've had one of these fights. I want a war. I don't know if he really wants that. Let's see when he gets in there.
Trinidad Snake, his father is Hispanic, his mother is Native American, hyphenates his last name to honor the heritage of both parents.
Yep, his game plan, he wants to get in there. He wants to be elusive. He wants to throw punches from weird angles, go out there and confuse his opponent.
Back we go to Jeff Houston.
Fight fans of Omaha, we are set for the next fight of the night. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Presented to you by Tiger Life Energy, the cleaner energy drink. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight, he wears black and red. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. His official weight, 164 1/2 pounds. He holds a bare knuckle record of 1 victory opposite 2 defeats. Fighting out of Fort Walton Beach, Florida, here is Noah Cutter. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. Tonight, he wears black. He stands at even 6 feet tall. His official weight, 161.4 pounds. Tonight, he makes his bare knuckle debut. Fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska, here is Carlos Trinidad Snake. And our referee in charge of the action, Nick Behrens.
Carlos Trinidad Snake said, Noah Cutter has experience. I feel he's relatively stiff, though, in his movement as a striker. Cutter said, I want to work to the inside, implement my dirty boxing. Round number 1. Black and red trunks for Noah Cutter. Black and white trunks for Carlos Trinidad Snake. 1-1-2 from Cutter, and there's the return from Trinidad Snake.
Good counter by Snake.
That's a higher, tighter striking guard from Noah Cutter than we've seen in his 3 previous bare knuckle fights, and the left hand gets through from Trinidad Snake. Big right hand, Cutter in all sorts of trouble, and down he goes.
And that was a fantastic uppercut landed by Trinidad Snake that really set that up. Noah Cutter severely hurt right now. I don't know if he's getting up.
Referee Nick Behrens stopping the count, and correctly so. Trinidad Snake walking right over to the fallen Noah Cutter. It does not matter, and the win in round number 1 of his bare knuckle debut for Carlos Trinidad Snake.
He landed a lot of clean shots on Cutter. He hurt him several times right there. Cutter continued to try and just, weather the storm and get through it. There was no way he took too many clean shots. Very difficult to do with bare knuckles. It was a fast. How fast was that fight, Sean? Do you know? What's the time on that one?
First round knockout. Nick Behrens' 10 count had to be longer than 10 seconds, and it did not matter.
And there's a clean right punch. You get to see his eyes are not there anymore. That was the finishing shot, but he'd already taken several punches before that, several clean shots. There it was. You see it again, and his legs are just not there anymore. There was the uppercut that hurt him the first time, I think.
You see the excitement of Trinidad Snake. Nick Behrens with his 10 count. Trinidad Snake will actually walk too close. Behrens stops his count correctly so, sends him away.
I mean,
it does not matter. This is not the Dempsey Tunney long count.
that was basically, in his mind, a walk away knockout. He knocked him down. He knew it was over for the entire time. He wasn't worried. He was walking around with his hands up. He knew that the fight was over as soon as he landed that many clean shots.
Noah Cutter is a really talented fighter, but he was caught with a ferocious punch by Carlos Trinidad Snake.
Well, Trinidad Snake, he wanted to show his fans and everybody, the fans here, exactly who he is as a fighter. He says he's worked a lot. He's been working really hard. He's really dedicated himself to this. He wanted this to be a coming out party for him, and I think it was.
Carlos Trinidad Snake told us, Chris, I'm going to land punches from awkward angles. That really wasn't an awkward angle. That was a conventional angle.
Absolutely. I mean, it was just so quick. He jumped all over him, landed the punches, and that's it.
Here is Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge, Nick Behrens, reaches the count of 10 at 38 seconds into round number 1 for your winner by KO, Carlos Trinidad Snake.
Man, 38 seconds. What an impressive fight against a guy with a lot more experience than him. I wish we could have saw more. I'd like to see more Trinidad Snake, and what a great debut. Wow, can't wait to see him fight again.
That is a very impressive bare knuckle fighting championship debut for Carlos Trinidad Snake. Noah Cutter entering with 3 fights of bare knuckle experience, had focused on his defense, but that right hand getting through, and that proves to be the final punch of the fight. The winner, by way of first-round knockout in 38 seconds, Carlos Trinidad Snake defeats Noah Cutter. Tonight only, you will receive 30% off of all Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship merchandise when you use the promo code BKFC21 at bareknuckleshop.com. There's a wide array of colors and styles to choose from and sizes for women, men, and kids. And now available, it's the limited edition BKFC 9/11 Memorial Never Forget t-shirt. You can place your order right now at bareknuckleshop.com. And again, a reminder, use the promo code BKFC21 to receive 30% off of your entire order. On Saturday night, October 9th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship will make its debut in Montana as we will be in Billings for BKFC Fight Night. In the main event, you will see Joe Riggs versus Melvin Gillard. Also set to fight on this stacked card, Christine Faria, Tom Schoaf, Taylor Starling, and Lloyd Woodard. You can watch it right here on the Bareknuckle TV app. For more information and to purchase tickets beginning next week, go online to BKFC.com. That's Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Fight Montana, Saturday, October 8th. I beg your pardon, Saturday, October 9th. That's October 9th in Billings. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship live tonight from Omaha, Nebraska is presented by Fan Time. Tiger Life, the cleaner energy drink. Fusion CBD Sports Water. And by BetOnline.ag. Two fights, two knockouts in our prelims. Prelim number 3, our final preview evening, fight of the evening. Remember, top of the hour, our main card begins. Cruiserweights for you now. Erick Murray versus Robert Guzman. Our tale of the tape is presented by Fusion CBD Sports Water.
And the thing that just jumps out of the page at you right here is a height difference. Because that height difference is usually going to lead to a reach difference. You can just tell by looking at these guys, difference in the reach is going to be. And that's going to be huge for Erick Murray. He's going to have to keep Guzman at bay. Guzman has had a lot of amateur boxing, but he's going to want to get inside. Murray's going to have to keep him away.
The BKFC and indeed the Pro Combat Sports debut for Robert Guzman. He's compiled a 29-0 amateur boxing record. Guzman said proudly, "I'm willing to take shots to get in and establish my inside game."
Yeah, he wants to be inside. He wants to pressure his opponent. And I think when we talked about that reach advantage, he's going to have to get inside. He's going to have to work head movement. Understand that's difficult to block. He's going to have to work head movement to get inside and unload his punches.
Guzman said, throughout my amateur boxing career, I was always the shorter fighter, and because of that, I've developed a style that relies on heavy forward pressure. My opponents always want to stay on the outside. My game is to solve that reach and range advantage and take it to the inside.
You know, I love Sean. 90% of the time when we talk to people, what's the most important punch? It's a jab. This guy didn't say that because he knows it's not true. So one of the big punches for him is a left hook. He wants to get inside and land those heavy punches that make his damage done to his opponent.
The BKFC debut for Erick Murray. 10 fights in his pro MMA career, including 3 in LFA. Murray, with a smile on his face, said, "I'm really bad at being a patient fighter. I'm trying to be more patient, but it's in my heart to be an aggressive fighter."
Yeah, he says he doesn't want to come out overly aggressive because you never know what you're walking into. But we talked about that. Everybody has a great plan, and then it doesn't always happen like that. So usually mine will last about 3 to 4 seconds. Let's see if he can get it to last at least 30 seconds.
Robert Guzman thought he would. Erick Murray told us, "I want to establish my jab early in this fight, set a high pace, and counter when Guzman jabs."
He wants to throw straight punches. Great idea when you're going against a guy who's probably going to be throwing hooks, wild punches. He wants to stay in tight, throw nice straight punches right down the pipe.
Murray also said of Guzman, I think he's going to try to make this fight a brawl. I want to walk that line between being aggressive and being smart. I don't want to get sucked into an all-out brawl standing toe-to-toe.
I liked what he said at the beginning. He wants the first 30 seconds probably to feel the guy out. Not like the last fight. There was no feel-out period there. He wants to stay on the outside, see what he can learn from his opponent, what kind of tells he has.
Huge moment, huge opportunity for both fighters in this cruiserweight bout, Erick Murray and Robert Guzman. Again, Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for the next fight of the night. Scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the cruiserweight division. Presented to you by Fusion CBD Sports Water. All the benefits you need for fast muscle recovery. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. Tonight, he wears black and white. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. His official weight, 203 pounds. Tonight, he makes his bare knuckle debut. Fighting out of Coachella Valley, Palm Springs, California. Here is Robert Bomb First Guzman. And across the ring, his opponent fighting on the blue corner. Tonight, he wears white with black. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall. His official weight, 204.8 pounds. He holds an MMA record of 6 victories opposite 4 defeats and makes his bare knuckle debut. Fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska. Here is Erick Murray Jr. And our referee in charge of the action, Kerry Hatley.
Erick Murray told us, get in, get out, get in, get out. Guzman said, once I'm in, I am not moving. Round number 1. Referee Kerry Hatley, one of the best in all of MMA, making his bare knuckle debut with this bout. Quickly to the inside. They put Kerry Hatley to work just like that, Chris. You can see Guzman with the head movement, trying to get to the inside. There's that long jab from Murray.
Murray doing just what he said, trying to give him the first 30 seconds.
Big right hand and the flash knockdown. Down goes Guzman and right back to his feet.
Perfectly timed right there. This is what we talked about, waiting for his opponent to come in and counter him. Like you said, looked like a flash knockdown. Didn't look like it hurt him and just kind of knocked him off balance right away.
We'll see now the patience of Murray. Again, he said, I'm bad at being patient. We'll see how much he turns up the temperature to try to get the first round finish. Side headlock position for Guzman, and Murray legally with the right hands.
Like you talked about, now is not the time to be patient. You got your guy kind of hurt. You need to jump on him all the time if you can.
Quick jab by Guzman. Murray standing tall, was in southpaw stance, back to orthodox. 50 seconds remaining, round number 1. Back to the inside. This is exactly where Guzman wants to be. That's correctly ruled a slip by referee Kerry Hatley.
So you do have to be careful. You don't want to just go wild and throw punches at your opponent, but you can tell Guzman is not quite right now. He's not hurt, but he's not 100%.
Almost a headbutt into the chest. That was accidental by Murray. He level changed as Guzman ran in.
Murray looks like he hurt his eye from that. There might have been a little bit of a headbutt there. Look, he's got his left eye is totally closed right now.
Back into the clinch.
And that's some smart work being done by Murray right now. His eye's giving him problems. So what's he doing? He's clinching right now. He's doing what he has to do to let that get better. It takes a minute, so he's just buying his time right now.
Final seconds, round number 1. Erick Murray recording the lone knockdown of this fight thus far in the opening round on the flash knockdown right hand. We will move to round 2.
I think Murray's pretty lucky right there that the round was over. Like I said, his eyes bothered him right there. See if he can get cleared up in this minute break. Didn't really see what happened, if it was a headbutt, exactly what it was.
The upstanding cut man Harley Riddle looking at that eye of Murray. Again, top of the hour, our main card begins. BKFC 21 from Omaha, Nebraska. The first time Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship has been in this state. You can can see it on the Bareknuckle TV app.
And there it was right there. Guzman did what he said he was going to try and get inside, but as he did it, Murray did exactly what he needed to. He threw that right hand, landed right on the button, knocked his opponent down. He said it didn't really hurt Guzman that much, but it did do enough to, it made his legs a little unstable right there.
Seconds out called. Both fighters coming back up to scratch.
Murray's eyes still bother him.
Round number 2. Forward pressure immediately by Erick Murray. Guzman taking the slide step off of the scratch line.
And I'm wondering if Murray doesn't have more of a sense of urgency right now because he knows.
Big shots again, and that's ruled a knockdown. And the right hand. Chris, there is that sense of urgency for Murray.
Absolutely, and there should be. He's got to get this guy out of here as soon as possible.
Murray's left eye is completely shut.
Yeah. Now, if I'm in Guzman's corner right now, I'm telling him overhand rights if you can. Get on the inside and try and hit that eye again.
Guzman, despite being down twice thus far in this fight, still moving relatively freshly. Trying to come forward back into the pocket. Big right hand again. He ruled a double slip by Kerry Hatley. 60 seconds remaining, round number 2. Guzman trying to be elusive, trying to show the head movement to get inside. Slips that right hand from Murray. Inactive clinch, right back to it. Big swing and a miss on that rear right hook from Guzman. Murray taking full advantage. Guzman took himself off balance.
You know, I talked about him not using the jab. He needs to use it to get in, does Guzman. He's got to throw a couple of double jabs and close that gap. He can't just start winging punches. His opponent's too tall for him.
Step in again with the right hand. The pushback. And down goes Guzman.
Grabbing that right knee.
Guzman, time now called by Kerry Hatley. It's the right knee. He's sent to the neutral corner. Time is called.
He keeps giving out on him, it looks like. I don't know if it happened in one of the mixes where he got pushed down or exactly what happened. Maybe dislocated. He keeps acting like it moved.
If it happened fairly in the course of this fight, this would be a TKO win for Murray, assuming Guzman could not continue. Guzman cannot continue, and it's ruled accidental, and you're looking at a no contest. But this fight is not over. It's quite possible Guzman can and will continue as he's back to his feet.
I don't think it's going on. If he's limping like that, I don't think they're going to let him fight.
This fight is over. Guzman cannot continue. So now the question, Chris, is, was this accidental? Was it through a foul? Or was this through the natural course of the fight? If it's through the natural course of the fight, it's a TKO win for Erick Murray.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that looked illegal. I didn't see anything intentional. I'd have a hard time believing that this would be considered something of that nature. You'd hate to see something like that, especially Erick Murray has 2 knockdowns in the fight. He's looking fantastic. I hope that...
Off microphone, Chris, referee Kerry Hatley just came over to our commentary position. He confirmed for me, Guzman twisted his knee on that second knockdown of round number 2. So that's fair action through the course of the fight, because Guzman cannot continue through that situation. It's a TKO win, albeit due to injury of Guzman, but the victory goes to Erick Murray.
Erick Murray looked fantastic out there, and he's dealing with some adversity himself. Look at that left eye. It's pretty much going to swell shut or something. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but he had problems seeing out that left eye, so he did have to deal with that, and he looked fantastic, I thought.
Murray has partially opened his left eye, but Chris, that left eye was completely shut through round number 2.
It gave him a lot of problems at the end of the first round. You could tell he was grabbing, he was holding. That's a smart veteran move right there. When you're hurt, you have to figure out how to make it through the next round until your eye gets better. That's exactly what he did.
Disappointment for Robert Guzman. Dropped once in round 1, dropped twice in round number 2. And in the fair course of action on that second knockdown here in round number 2, Guzman injuring his knee. The ringside physician from the state of Nebraska is saying that Guzman cannot continue, and that's the win for Erick Murray by way of TKO. We go to Jeff Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen, our ringside physician steps in and calls a stop to this fight at 1 minute 52 seconds into round number 2 for your winner by TKO, Erick Murray Jr.
Very good fight for Erick Murray. He looked fantastic out there. He utilized that length. He countered every time his opponent came in. Unfortunate how it had to end, but he was doing very good in the fight anyway.
It ends on the injury, but again, Murray dropping Guzman in round number 1 and dropping him twice in round number 2. Murray using his length, using his reach, using his straight punches. The winner by way of second round TKO, Erick Murray defeats Robert Guzman. The Bareknuckle TV app gives you access to live BKFC events as well as access to the full BKFC archives. You can also watch fight promotions such as Toe the Line and Jorge Masvidal's game-bred Bareknuckle MMA. Plus, you'll get fighter interviews, behind-the-scenes content, the latest news, original programming, and more. And it's how you can watch our main card tonight, which begins at the top of the hour. It's all for just $4.99 per month. It is truly the best deal in combat sports, and it's available on all smartphones and on most streaming devices. The Bareknuckle TV app, download it now at bkfc.com. $4.99 per month, the Bareknuckle TV app. The Bareknuckle TV app was the idea of David Feldman, and oh, by the way, bringing the sport of bare-knuckle fighting from the 19th century to the 21st century. That was Dave Feldman's idea as well. Dave Feldman is the founder and the CEO of Bareknuckle Fighting Championship. Dave, we continue to open states. First time ever a bare-knuckle event, legal, sanctioned, regulated here in the great state of Nebraska.
It's amazing to be here in Omaha. I mean, the fans are loving it. Everybody's really excited about this event. We started off with some really good, evenly matched fights. You know, it's a great way to start this show in Omaha, Nebraska. You know, again, evolving, right? Omaha, Nebraska, then Billings, Montana, then back to Wichita, New York, Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're going to finish out the year really, really strong, Sean.
Well, Dave, you just hit on it. As we look at our upcoming schedule, first time tonight ever in Nebraska. Saturday, October 9th, that will be our first time in Montana. Saturday, November 6th, first time in New York. Friday, December 3rd, first time in New Mexico. Again, the states, the athletic commissions continue to come to their senses and open up for bare-knuckle fighting championship.
Well, you know, we assembled a great team led by Dr. Don Muzi, our head of our medical program here at Bare-Knuckle Fighting Championship. And like I said last time, you know, he compiled the data, and the data shows that we're no more dangerous than boxing or MMA. We have a great team. We have a great medical staff. We have great fighters that fight for us. So why not allow us to fight in these new states? And that's what they're doing. They're just opening the doors for us. As you know, they formed a bare-knuckle boxing committee with the Association of Boxing Commissioners now. So that takes us up another level of acceptance and legitimacy and mainstream right now. So it's just great to be able to, this is how the sport's going to grow, right? Coming to these new states, letting these fans watch it live, because as all of us know, there's nothing like watching the sport live.
Absolutely. And Dave, one thing you said there, you said this is no more dangerous than other sports. I would disagree. I would say it's less dangerous than other sports. That was the only reason I was able to come out and do that. The wife was like, okay, you can do this because it's not as dangerous. And that's real. That's what I believe.
Well, I mean, the statistics show that. I just, you know, any combat sport, anytime you're hitting someone in the head, anything can happen. So, you know, I think all combat sports are not completely safe, but at the end of the day is we take all the precautions. We line up our medicals right. We have the best staff really in combat sports right now, and we take all the precautions to, you know, advance this sport into, you know, into mainstream right now. And that's exactly what we're doing, opening up these new states and making it as safe as possible, and the fans are loving it.
Dave, we see the fighters who have come to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. We've had 3 full organization, legitimate boxing world champions, numerous veterans coming from the UFC, including Chris Lights Out Lytle and Bellator Fighting Championship. The signings continue to happen. It's gone really in 4 years to, can I get anyone to fill my card, to how am I going to do 848 cards a year because so many fighters are now calling you?
It's crazy. I mean, look, you know, watch what you wish for, right? I mean, we're so busy now. It's crazy. We're going to be launching Russia in February, those monthly shows over there that I mentioned last time. We're also, if everything keeps continuing the way it looks like in the UK, we're going to launch the monthly series there also in February, and then we're going to do 2 domestic shows a month. So we're going to be very busy next year. And you know, it's amazing because, like you said, the fighters are knocking down our door now to fight for us. We come to a new venue, like a new place like Omaha, Nebraska, really in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the country, in the middle of nowhere, and we're able to fill this card with 50% Omaha, Nebraska fighters. So it just shows that the fighters really want to be a part of this organization. We treat them right. They're fighting their butts off, man, and you know, things are just really advancing for us.
Paige Van Zandt was obviously a huge signing. They continue to come. Chad Mendez. Let's talk about some other names that are real and are rumored to come to BKFC. And it's not as though the rumors are being started by Bareknuckle Fighting Championship. Sometimes it's the other way around, that the rumors are being started by the fighters and their agents.
No, absolutely. I mean, look, you know, I don't want to mention any names out there that aren't signed yet because I don't want to mess up any future signings. But a lot of the rumors that you are hearing out there are very true. You know, we're in talks with some really big names to close out this year. I think December 3rd, if that comes together the way I want it to come together, it's going to be a phenomenal legend matchup. It's going to be, you know, a really amazing way to close out this year. But they're all knocking down the door. You know, I'm very happy that people want to fight for this organization. And, you know, it says a lot about how we treat the fighters. Also how, you know, how the notoriety they're getting, how they're really blowing up their image here fighting at Bareknuckle Fighting Championship. So, you know, it's all coming together great. And like I said, we see by the states are opening up, we're getting more and more fans, more and more fighters. It's just growing.
David, let's talk about this card tonight, starting with our co-main event. You know, Chris and I talk about it all the time. We're not guilty of this, thankfully, in BKFC. Other organizations are. They manufacture heat. We don't do that here. When there's legitimate animosity between two fighters, we will highlight it because it's relatively rare. There is legitimate animosity in our co-main heavyweights, Sam Shewmaker and Josh Burns. They really do not like each other.
They certainly don't. I think it's going to be bombs. I mean, look, 2 really heavy hitters in the heavyweight division. If that thing goes past the first round, I really will be surprised. And then we go into the main event with Mike Richman fighting Omaha, Nebraska's own Dakota Cochrane right here in his hometown. You know, arguably one of the best fighters in bare knuckle right now at the current time, fighting another guy that could be a pound for pound great in bare knuckle fighting right now with Mike Richman. So, you know, it's going to be the co-main event and main event are going to be fire.
The matchmaking has been phenomenal. Credit to Nate Shook, our matchmaker. The tryouts. It's the other end of the spectrum from signing all of these former boxing world champions, UFC and Bellator veterans. So many fighters continue to come from the tryouts. We're going to see a number tonight, including Rocky Long, who will be fighting my friend UFC veteran Jason High. He was at the Kansas City tryouts last year, successful, and now he gets his contract 13 months later.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing how the sport's evolving now. You know, we did the first tryouts in 2017 before we were even legal, and we found our first ever bare knuckle heavyweight champion, Arnold Adams, and we found Sam Shewmaker. We found Reggie Barnett on that card. 3 of the fighters that fought the most in this company's history so far. So, you know, there's no telling where this could go by doing the tryouts in all these different areas and finding the young talent, finding the hidden talent, finding legitimate former world champions that just aren't being talked about anymore, and putting them into the squared circle. You know, it's been phenomenal for the growth. We really have some big things coming up. I wish that I was able to talk to the one manager today and get the deal done, because I wanted to announce the one thing so bad. It's like right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't make that announcement right now. But I just want to say, man, I'm so excited for the rest of this year, and really what 2022 is going to look like for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. I think by the end of 2022, we're going to be very taken seriously, meaning taken seriously enough to be one of the biggest players in combat sports at that time.
Well, like you said, big signings, huge signings. We got 13 guys on this card right now who are from the tryouts. So the tryouts are working. I love it. You're able to bring guys out, showcase what they want to do, and it's working. You got some guys who have been legitimate fighters who you got from the tryouts.
No, absolutely. You know, everything's really working here. I mean, knock on wood, it's going great. It's working. We assembled a great commentary team. We assembled a great medical team. We assembled a great production team. The fighters are doing great. We're marketing this well. Just everything is really starting to come together right now. Like, I feel it more than I ever have. You know, it's been such a struggle getting this thing rolling and getting it accepted and getting into new states, getting the fighters who want to fight for us. But I just feel something different right now. Like, we're just about to explode, like a volcano that's just about to, you know, erupt. And I think that's right where we're at right now. It feels great.
This is David Feldman. He is the man who brought bare knuckle fighting into the 21st century, the founder, the CEO of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. David, you will be with us at the end of our broadcast tonight. You're going to see a lot of combat sports celebrities, none bigger than arguably the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world, Omaha, Nebraska's own Terrence Crawford. Where else but front row ringside here at BKFC 21. You're going to see a lot of UFC veterans and current UFC fighters, including Mark the Hammer Coleman, in attendance tonight. We're counting down to the top of the hour. 8 minutes from now, our main card begins. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 21, live tonight from Omaha, Nebraska. A simple 4-step process, how to watch, and it concludes by downloading the Bare Knuckle TV app. Remember, it's just $4.99 per month, and you can watch the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship live events, as well as our entire 3-year archive of shows. We're coming up top of the hour, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 21. 8 fights headed your way from Ralston Arena in Omaha, Nebraska, culminating with our main event at 175 pounds. Dakota Cochrane from here in Omaha, Nebraska versus the Bellator veteran Mike Richman.